diaphragmatic breathing and some other stuff. And so to begin with the diaphragmatic breathing thing, here we go again. It's this kind of action. I can't tell you how valuable this whole practice has been in my life. It's really unmeasurable. The times when I use it and the way that it's changed how I literally experience everything that goes on around me is quite profound. So can't oversell it enough. I guess I'm overselling. I don't exactly know what that meant, but yeah. So breathing in through the nose, and again, I'm not going to go through all the neurology stuff today, but I've done it multiple times. So if you just check out on the YouTube page, the Back to Basics Sundays, there's a number of them that have all the background for this stuff. You can just look it up on the internet. It's kind of all over the place, this stuff. And these specifics about the way that I practice are that it's the simplest way to do it, which is, it needs to be simple for me. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. Would have given up a long time ago. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. You want to breathe. You want to count when you breathe in and count when you breathe out. You just want that number to be about the same. It doesn't matter what the number is. It can be 2, 4, 10, 15. It doesn't really matter what the number is, as long as it's the same. The reason for that has to do with neurological stuff. You want your back to be have some amount of freedom, unless it's physically impossible, because it just makes it easier. If you actually have to lean back because of whatever's going on with you, just do it. It just makes it a little bit more difficult to get this thing going, because as you can see, when this is happening, my shoulders aren't moving. I'm not going like this. So when I'm breathing in, you can see this moving. You don't see my shoulders moving. And I've said this before. It just occurred to me that there are times when my shoulders would actually, I'll breathe in and I'll breathe out and my shoulders would go down. That's good because the tension of my shoulders is leaving. So if you find yourself kind of relaxing more as you breathe out, that's cool. But what you don't want is when you breathe in for your shoulders go up and then from them go back down. That because then you're breathing into your chest. And the other thing is a practice. And to practice means to do it at a time when you're not urgently needing to do it, when you're not trying to get to sleep, when you're not trying to do something with it. You're just practicing. And just like with music, you don't practice when everybody's around. You do practice. Wait a minute, what did I say? You practice when nobody's around, so when they are around, it sounds like you know what you're doing. And so a practice time means that it's not about other things that you're doing. It's just about understanding how this process works, what it feels like. And because the most important thing is really to be at least for me, has been to get very comfortable with how it feels when it's working correctly, when it's working the way I need it to work, so that I can ease into that whenever I need to. So another little basic tip, thinking about basics in the context of this time, which is a very reflexive time for me in my life. The time between Christmas and New Year's for me is the time when I take a lot of time to just kind of reflect and pause. And so I'm thinking about the basics of a practice like kindness. And I know, especially in our culture, where this North American culture, where everything's reciprocal, everything's about what I get something, I give something, I give, get, this back and forth thing. And so the notion of kindness can somehow take people off guard, because it's like, well, I'm not going to be kind to people if they're not being kind to me. And my stand against that is not, well, you should be kind, because that's just annoying. It's more about how the effects that being kind to other people has on me, and that there's actually a benefit that I get from kindness. And so, maybe that says, well, no, because then you're supposed to just be giving. But I base a lot of what I think about and what I consider to be useful in the natural world. And my experience of the natural world is that that everything happens in balance all the time. It's what it's all about. And so the fact that I, in fact, get something for being kind doesn't make it less or worse or somehow back to that reciprocal thing. It's about the value of how we are in moments that we're in, and that you actually can get something from being kind, because for me, it's like it brings me into balance with everything that's going on around me. When I'm not being kind, I'm in a place I don't want to be, and then I'm in a headspace that I don't want to be in, and I'm thinking about things that I can't control. I'm doing any number of different things that I'm totally not psyched about and wouldn't be psyched about anyway. So to take up that kindness position, then just like, oh, well, actually, I feel better in this space anyway. So then, you know, so then it's a space that actually works more for me in the first place. And so then there's that thing that kind of pulls me forward to continue to do that. So anyway, value of kindness, not only for the people around us, but also for ourselves. Something to think about for today. It's Back to Basics Sunday. I'm Dr. Joel, and this is What's Next with Dr. Joel, and I will be back with something tomorrow. Hope everybody's